Good afternoon and happy Friday to all of your sunshiny faces. Honestly guys, it is crazy. The last like 3 weeks now or so have just felt like they went by so crazy fast. And like Jack has pretty much 1 week of school left before he has 1 week of summer left before he has school, which is like seriously crazy. Like summer's basically over for Jack. I think though that the reason they're starting early is because they're doing construction on the high school. They're adding like a second wing to like this one like wing. It's a 3-floor high school originally. Like the original 100-year-old part of the high school is 3 stories, and then they added like more on since then. And like it's not like still this small little, like honestly if it was still the original like size that it was, it'd probably be smaller than most elementary schools. So yeah, it didn't have like a lot of school rooms in those first 3 floors, but anyways, this one part that they had, which when me and Matthew both went to school there was only 1 floor, they built it with the hope that they would eventually add a 2nd floor, so it still has like all the, you know, the ability to have a 2nd floor added onto it. So they are adding this 2nd floor on, which I thought it was supposed to be a 2-year project, and like it looks like it's actually coming along pretty well, but obviously I'm assuming that that's why they have to have it like a 2-year project, like over summer, so they won't finish it this year, but they'll probably wind up finishing it next summer. So I think that's why all of the kids are like, or you know, like I guess that doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't you have like a longer summer? But maybe their thought is that like the next year they're hoping to have a longer like summer to be able to finish this project. And on top of that too, I think the high school actually though got out early for summer, but because the districts are different for the elementary and middle schools, those are one district, and then the high school's in a separate district, because a lot of middle schools and elementary schools end up feeding into the high school, so they're not all like in one district like some areas are. Like I think where my cousins went to school though, their like elementary, middle schools and high school were all like in the same district or whatever for their town, but because our town gets filtered in from like a few other towns around our area, they'll have other middle schools that then wind up, you know, coming into the high school. So that's why I think I thought Matthew said that the high school students got out earlier like this year, but like Jack, because he was in middle school, got out later. You know, they didn't get out until I think the first week of June or whatever, whereas I think that the other, like the high schoolers from like last year got out earlier, like a few weeks or something like that maybe, was I think what Matthew said, because he still had some friends that were like what were juniors 2 years ago when Matthew was a senior, that had graduated last year. And although seniors normally get out early, but just because of graduation and everything like that. But yeah, so I think that this summer is going to be like shorter for them, but next summer I would assume would be longer, so they can try and finish all of the construction next year. So anyways though guys, yeah, Jack starts school in literally 1 week. Like he has this next week left of school, or of summer, and then he goes to school, which is so weird. And then Matthew goes back August 23rd, I think, is when his move-in day is, but I don't think he starts classes until like that following week, depending on when it is. And then I know the little boy that I babysit for though, here's the thing guys, is that like the middle schools and elementary schools got out so late, but they don't go back until September 3rd is their first day of school. So they actually start school after Labor Day, which is weird because normally they start before Labor Day. So I don't know why they're actually starting late, but for whatever reason, there'll be like 3 weeks where I'm babysitting without Jack. He'll be back in school, like I said, like by that time. So yeah, it's like I said, it feels like crazy. Summer's almost over, but I don't know why though. Like I said, like the elementary and middle schools are like are going back so late this year, and like Matthew though is starting school like I think around the same time, because I think it was just after my mom's birthday that we ended up he moved in, I think, like that next day or something like that, or he had moved in the next day. So it's like the exact same time pretty much for him as it was last year. But again, those, I don't know why, like the other district with the middle schools and elementary schools this year are starting so late. So that means, like I said, I have got like 3 weeks of babysitting where Jack is not going to like be here, which is really weird. But it's like a longer summer for those kids that are still have that, or you know, that are still going to middle school and elementary schools. Like they have a longer summer. But yeah, guys, like I said, it's weird though, like summer's like coming to a close kind of already. But honestly, August and September are still those days where it's like, this week has been really nice, and it looks like next week too, it's only supposed to be like 80s, you know, which is like not super hot, and it's not freezing cold either. It's like, I think 80s are like perfect summer weather. Like it's just right in the middle. As long as we don't have too bad humidity, like 80s are really I think a good temperature, because it's not freezing cold out, but it's like not like super hot either, where you know, those 90, 100 degree days, which we got a few of those this year. So yeah, but August is normally still pretty hot, and we'll have September will still be pretty warm, and then October is when it starts to get cooler. But I think we did have some days in October where it was still pretty nice out, you know, and so those are the days that I would rather like be outside, like in the morning and stuff like that, when it's, you know, like, or even during the day more in like September and stuff like that, when it's kind of a little bit chillier out, but it's not like super hot during the day, and it's cooler. So that's when I'll probably wind up finishing up most of my gardening, because I've honestly, guys, I think I've weeded the flower beds each twice this year, with the exception of maybe the one between ours and our neighbor's driveway. That one actually looks really bad. I need to get to it. I was going to do that today while we were actually outside. I told you guys how we were going to do like the paper boats. Paper boats lasted for all of like 5 minutes before they became a crumbling mess, and we decided that we were just going to play in the sprinkler today. So that's what we did when we were babysitting. And I was actually doing a little bit of weeding over by our bushes, because I could, like without getting drenched by the sprinkler. But our flower beds have actually done really well this year, other than doing a little bit of like spot like weeding here and there. I haven't really had to do a whole lot. Like I said, I've probably weeded all of the flower beds a total of twice so far this year. I'm thinking maybe 3 times they're going to be like at most what I'm going to have to do for all of them, except for, again, the one in between ours, their neighbor's driveway. It's the hottest part because of where it is. There's absolutely no shade, and like even in the afternoon too, because like I was outside for a little while actually pulling some weeds out in the front flower bed today, just for like a little bit, maybe like honestly 5 or 10 minutes. But I was doing that because the house was actually shading that flower bed. Even in the afternoon, like during the afternoon today when I was doing that, it still wasn't even shaded in that driveway, and it still felt ridiculously hot. I was like, honestly, this is crazy. So that's why that one is just really bad. Like it's just really, like the sun is right on you. It's just nasty. So that's why I think that's my least favorite flower bed. And on top of that too, it's the hardest to get around because of the cars that are there. So like trying to get in between our driveway with the cars all being in there, in between the driveway, between the car and the flower bed, there's like no room. So that's why I'm thinking that those flower beds might be best to do like late in the afternoon, when it's like really like late out and cool and stuff like that. The only problem is, now that it's getting later into the summer, is when we normally start getting mosquitoes, so that's really nasty. But yeah, guys, so I did edit today, and I got to some dishes, but I didn't get a whole lot else done. I did use my planner this week, so I was a little bit more productive, which is good, but I didn't get to a whole ton. My goal, though, for tomorrow is I want to be up at the grocery store at like 7 o'clock, guys. Like, honestly, if I can get up to babysit at 7 o'clock, I want to be able to get up and go to the grocery store and just get that whole thing done in the morning, be back like before 10 o'clock would be lovely. Instead of like almost, it feels like we're leaving at like 10 o'clock. I'll get up at like 8, 8:30, sometimes 9 o'clock, but we sometimes don't end up out at the grocery store. Like, it takes us almost an hour to like leave sometimes. So like, I want to be out and done and gone like early this week. I also too, my gladioluses are almost blooming, but the problem is they're drooping and falling over right now, so I need to get some like little like garden stakes to help hold them up. So I think that's what we need to get at Menards as well tomorrow. And the carpet in my room too, I've noticed, especially with the dogs, when they come tearing in my room, it keeps sliding across the floor, so I need to get some of those like sticky, tacky things to keep like your carpet down so it doesn't slide. So that's the other thing too that I'm probably gonna wind up getting at Menards tomorrow. So anyways though, guys, yeah, I'll keep today's vlog short. I think Jack's coming with to go to the grocery store tomorrow too, since he literally, like I say guys, he's got 2 weekends left before he starts school, which I think he starts maybe on Tuesday though, or something like that. And so I told you guys though, this week, the week before he starts school, he doesn't have any football officially. There's no actual like camp or anything like that, and official football doesn't start until school starts. They've just had camp, so he ended camp on like Wednesday or whatever it was. So this whole week though, he will not have camp, his last week before school starts. But so I'm going to take a shower and get to bed. I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.